English tip by tip. Is football still number one? English for sports. Dialogue.
John, have you seen the latest sports data? It's crazy how football is still the #1 sport worldwide.
Absolutely. The World Cup numbers are incredible. But don't forget about cricket. It has a huge fan base in Asia.
True. Over 2 billion fans. But basketball is also growing everywhere. Mostly thanks to the NBA's influence.
Right? It's all about the energy. But for me, the best part of the Olympics is always swimming. The ratings are unbeatable.
English tip by tip.
Tip 122.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Dialogue.
Next. Mary, please step forward. Raise your arms in front of you. Good. Now turn around. I need to check your nails. They look short enough. Take off your shoes and socks before stepping on the tatami.
Professor, is there a problem with my kimono?
You have to change your kimono. These pants are too short. They are more than 2 centimeters above your ankle bone. Also, the sleeve is short. It doesn't reach the 2 centimeters limit from your wrist. And there isn't the required 7 centimeters of clearance for the inspection tool to pass through. Finally, this color is inappropriate. The shade of navy doesn't match the official royal blue, required by the Federation.
I understand. I'll go change quickly. But I'm also worried about the scale. Can I check my weight before the official call?
Listen, you only weigh in once officially right before your first fight. However, you can test your weight on that scale over there if you're unsure. By the way, does your name already appear on the list?
Yes, I'm registered. If we go out of bounds during the match, how do we restart?
Don't worry. We go back to the center in the same position. Pay attention to my hands during the fight. If I raise 2 fingers, it's for a takedown or knee on belly. If I show 3 fingers, you've scored a guard pass. 4 fingers are for mount or back control. If I see you stalling, I'll indicate you and call loot or fight to give you a penalty. Remember, as Helio Gracie used to say, you must rely on technique, timing, and leverage, rather than brute force. Ready? Co-mate. Stop. Stop. The match is over by submission. Mary, come to the center. Fight.
Lute.
Restart. Disqualification. Winner.
English tip by tip.
Tip 123.
Dining out. In the Sunshine State. US versus UK. Dialogue.
Wow, look at this place. I love the outdoor seating. The view of the bay is amazing.
It really is. Florida has the best waterfront restaurants. I'm so glad we're meeting the group here. But hey, before we head in, should we figure out the bill? I don't want it to be awkward later.
Good point. Since there are 6 of us, we should probably ask for separate checks right at the start. It's much easier for the server than trying to split a massive bill at the end.
Definitely. And speaking of the server, remember that in Florida and the rest of the US, the service industry relies heavily on tips. We should aim for at least 18 to 20%.
Exactly. Even if the place is packed, we need to be patient. A simple please and thank you goes a long way.
Agreed. It's all about showing appreciation for their hard work. Let's head in and ask for a table for 6 immediately.
Perfect. Let's go.
What happened?
Mary and John arrived at a beautiful waterfront restaurant in Florida. They loved the outdoor seating and the view of the bay. Before their friends showed up, they decided to ask for separate checks. to avoid any confusion at the end of the dinner. They also discussed how to treat the server, reminding each other to be patient and polite, agreeing that a 20% gratuity was the best way to show appreciation for the service. Finally, they headed inside to ask for a table for 6 immediately. Key information: US versus UK. The check.
The bill.
Server.
Waiter, waitress.
English tip by tip. At the gas station. US versus UK. Dialogue.
I still can't get over how much cheaper gas is here compared to London. For the price of a liter back home, we've practically filled half the tank here.
Though I'm still not used to calling it gasoline. It'll always be petrol to me. Also, did you see the pump colors? In the UK, green is usually unleaded. But here the green handle is almost always diesel. I nearly made a massive mistake the other day.
Good catch. And the pay before you pump thing is so American.
Exactly. And the measurements. Everything is in gallons. Between that and the speed limit being in miles. I feel like I have to do a math quiz every time I get behind the wheel.
True. But you have to admit these gas stations are massive. You can buy anything, from a decent coffee to a full meal.
Fair point. Anyway, let's find a drive-thru. That's one American habit I can definitely get used to.
What happened?
Mary and Anna are at a gas station in Miami comparing the driving cultures of the US and the UK. They notice that gas is much cheaper than petrol in London, though the different pump colors, especially for diesel, and the pay-before-you-pump system nearly cause some confusion. They also discuss the struggle of switching from liters to gallons and are impressed by how massive American gas stations are. Key information: US versus UK. Gas.
Patrol.
Gas station.
Patrol station.
Highway and freeway.
Motorway.
Please subscribe to the channel, not to miss any tip. Please share it to your friends.